All right, what's up, everybody? So welcome back to another Barbershop Talk here on the TDK YouTube channel. This time we have our very own Leo Perez. Leo, say what's up to everybody, bro.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
So Leo, you are a barber at TDK. You've been cutting hair at TDK for about 2 years and a half?
A little bit more than that.
Give or
Turned 3
take.
in August 2nd.
August 2nd of 2025.
It'll be 3 years.
It'll be 3 years.
3 years.
All right, bro. Okay, so why are we here, Leo?
I want to say because of the things I've done in the span of the 2.5, 3 years.
Damn right. Damn right. So, Leo, well, right now we're currently in May of 2025, right? We announced in April who won the most services for the first quarter of the year. So we like to scale, especially this year when we started to really get into the metrics of how many haircuts, how much, cash transactions, credit card transactions, how many services we've done, the average per service. We've been scaling through those metrics so that we can be able to scale your growth, right, and everybody's growth. But ultimately, man, you have been the top performer. So you've been the top performer for the first quarter of the year. Hopefully the goal
To continue the rest of the year.
to continue to the full year, right? But you can't sleep, right? Because there's people right behind you. That we have really good barbers in our team. Everybody's very, very dedicated to their craft, to their career. Some of y'all, man, are here day in and day out. I know that you are for sure. So I just want to highlight, a couple of things from that. And I also want to highlight, I guess just your journey, your journey before going into barber, your journey once you went into barber, and then what there is to see in the future. Right? So then, so let's talk about that, right? Who are you? Explain your career, or not your career, explain your journey before entering TDK. What were you doing, bro?
Before entering TDK, I was at Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Really?
Playing baseball.
Baseball. So we got a baseball player here.
Not anymore, but
Okay.
I was.
Okay.
That was 2020, 2021, around there. That was my last years.
Okay.
I started trying to cut hair at that time.
In baseball?
During COVID, yeah. During COVID.
So COVID hit, and then you started to pick up the clippers.
Yes, because my brother was one of the types that he needed a haircut every day. My dad also.
And they couldn't go to a barbershop.
They couldn't go anywhere. So, well, first of all, I started cutting my own hair first.
Really?
Yeah. And then the first haircut I actually learned was a burst fade on myself.
Off the dome.
YouTube and all that, right?
Yeah.
First haircut I did on myself was 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to finish that haircut.
Okay.
As time went on, I was able to bring it down to 15 to 30 on myself.
Damn.
Yeah, it just got, basically, I want to say it was kind of natural at that point.
Wow. So you're a natural barber.
Well, on my own head, when I did my first haircut on my brother, it said otherwise.
That's another story.
Yeah, it's another story.
Okay.
But I told myself at that time, I was like, okay, you know what? If I can cut my own hair, it'd be easier to cut someone else's, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
No?
No. Well, after time went on, yeah. But
Yeah.
the first haircut, no, it was not.
What did your brother say? How was that experience? Did he care?
He told me not to mess him up. I was like, where are you going? You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it was COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID. He goes, you're right. I was like, okay. So I would have to say every 3 to 4 days, I sat him down in the kitchen chair.
Okay.
Let's go. And then once I saw a little bit of progress,
Yeah.
that's when my
Started to offer?
cousins,
Yeah.
my dad, a couple friends, my little brother's friends started coming along.
And this was still during COVID?
That was still during COVID.
Okay.
And I wasn't charging nothing. It was just for practice.
Free?
Yeah, free.
You were cutting at
my house.
your house?
In the living room with a kitchen chair.
In the living room with the kitchen chair?
Watching TV, baseball, or
And
baseball. I wasn't
your
at the
mom
time.
didn't care about the hairs or nothing like that? Like,
She did, but she kind of supported it.
really?
Yeah, she was like, go for it.
That's cool, bro. You have, I know that you have a big support system. I know you're now married. you know, you got married during working at TDK, right?
Yeah, I think it was about a year in at TDK.
He got married at TDK, you know, during TDK, and then he had a baby.
Also here.
Right? Yeah. During your, you know, your time here at TDK, I've been able to witness that, and it's been beautiful, bro. Like it's amazing to see the whole journey, right? Mm-hmm. But I know that we're still pre TDK, right? So, you know, going back to that, I know that you have a big support system because I've seen it during, right? So that's so cool, and I definitely want to highlight that, and I want you to just understand that you're blessed, bro. You're blessed to have your parents and even grandparents that support you, man. That's badass, bro. Yeah. You know, so that's good. But yeah, so then after COVID, what made you decide to like actually be a barber if you were already doing the whole? Because you're gonna.
So yeah. Right? So yeah. So
you're gonna be baseball.
In the 2020 happened. 2021. That's where I kind of really got into it.
Got into what?
Well, not kind of got it like cutting hair.
Okay.
Yeah. So I bought some clippers online. I still have my first ones here.
Hell yeah.
I still have them, but I won't use them here. They're real cheap. But so 2021, that's when I started. I started cutting hair in my dorm room. No, in my apartment over there in Corpus.
Okay.
The baseball players. So I would cut my hair every week, and people would see like, hey, where you get your haircut? I cut. Oh, okay. Can you cut my hair? Yeah, come on. How much? Whatever you want to pay me, or alcohol at the time.
Damn, so you on party mode.
Yeah, it was college. You know, I was just trying to get extra money to go golf or whatever on a Monday. If free alcohol, who's gonna say no? So I was like, okay, you know what, go for it. So I started really getting into barbering just because I was supposed to get drafted at the time.
And MLB?
Like to the MLB draft, yeah. So I was supposed to at the time.
MLB, bro. MLB. Like you're supposed to be a whole professional baseball player.
Yeah.
What's the goal for the hooks?
No. Well, at the time I had multiple teams, but at that time I had Boston Red Sox completely on board. But then stuff hit the fan.
What happened?
I couldn't tell you. I just got a call saying they gave money away to someone else.
Damn.
So that's.
But still, you're gonna get drafted, right?
I was there, but then until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I told them, okay, you know what? I mean, I got depressed for a little bit.
Yeah.
But whatever, life goes on. And what's it called? So I originally started cutting hair to go cut hair in the minors. Before I started going, like, to my baseball journey, I was gonna also go through barbering. To kind of get the extra money.
That was gonna be the double goal.
Yeah, it was gonna be the extra money because I knew it was just either free food, free drinks, or just extra money.
Yeah.
So either way, I was getting something in return for a haircut. So I was like, okay. Well, that didn't happen, so I was like, you know what? And then my grandma owns ABC, which is Advanced Barber College.
She does, yeah.
So
that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how you met me. So she's the only one in the family that actually does barbering or did barbering.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, come try it out. If you like it, you can stay. If you don't, we tried it.
In barber school?
In barber school, yeah.
Okay.
I went the summer of 2021, I went that summer. I was still in college mode, so I want to go to the beach or whatever. So it took me a little bit longer to finish. So I went to barber school, and I ended up liking it. Well, not liking it, I actually loved it because one, I can draw. Two, I feel like cutting hair is art.
Nice.
In a way.
Nice. And this is summer 2021, right? So COVID's already done.
When I fully went into barbering.
Yeah.
After I graduated, because I would, so during 2020, during COVID, when they barely started coming up, I would go to the barber school slowly.
Okay.
So.
But when you committed 2021, that's when they started. And then I met you 2022 summer, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, okay, so let's start going into that then, right? So now we know the pre-TDK.
Yes.
Right? And then I remember we did a barber battle at the school, at the ABC school, right?
Yeah, at ABC.
At ABC, we went to do a barber battle in 2022, and I believe it was for our barber battle.
Yeah, it was a TDK barber.
It was a barber. Yeah, we did a TDK barber battle, and we were gonna sponsor a student. Whoever wins out of each school was gonna be sponsored to go participate at the TDK barber battle. Yeah. So then that's when I met you, I believe you had won.
I had got it. No, I had got it second. And Saint tells me to this day, the only reason why the other guy beat me was because he did the pompadour and all that.
Yeah, he did the extra shit.
And at that time, I was just like, I'm just gonna give a fade. If he likes it or not, whatever.
But it was clean. I
wasn't well, because how that started, I asked you, hey, do you have a spot open there at TDK? And you told me Mercedes or McAllen. I was like, I prefer McAllen because I live in Mission.
Yeah. That was after the battle.
Yes, and then no, that was before the battle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It was before the battle, and I wasn't gonna cut. I just asked you, and you tell me, well, do the battle and we'll judge from there. I was like,
damn.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't have anyone like.
That's excuses.
Yeah.
That sounds like excuses to me, bro. I don't know.
I didn't have anyone to cut their hair, so I just grabbed this. Well, I had like a friend, but he had recently just had a haircut, but it was like a week and a half grown. So I was like, "Hey, bro, can I use you for the barber battle?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So sat him down. Barber battle goes through.
You won second place.
And I was like, "Yeah, it was a good enough fade." I mean, you said you wanted a low fade. I gave you a low fade. I didn't do the extra stuff. So I was like, well, let's see how that goes. Third gets called, and then I was like, okay. I had this feeling I was either second or first because I was looking at everyone else.
Yeah.
Judging hard, but at that time, I was like, I don't know if I'm good enough. So I was like, you know what? I had this feeling I was either second or first. And second came up, and it was me. I was like, awesome, but at the same time, I was like, there's no way. I know I cut hair better than him. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm now I'm here at TDK.
Sheesh. Yeah. So you at the barber battle. That basically was like your
entry ticket.
Yeah, your entrance ticket, your, what is it called? Your interview, your, there's a name that we call it. I don't know, okay, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, from there, you caught our eye, and I said, okay, you know what? How many hours? And then you were already gonna finish.
I think I was at 900.
Yeah, you were gonna finish already.
Yeah, I was already.
And I was like, okay, you know, you want a shot? Let's go. Go to McAllen. And then from there, you graduated in July.
July.
And then you entered August of 2022, right? And then you entered in August, and from there, the rest is history, right?
Yeah, from there it just took off.
Yeah, and it was back to school.
And to this day, I have one client that's...
From that day?
From that day.
From the first day?
From the first day I was here, he was here.
Wow. Yeah. You know, and when you look at, you know, your process in TDK, bro, like, you know, the growth within that time frame, the 2 years and a half, 2 years and 3/4, you know, of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen so much progress, you know, and to be able to give you this award, the most services completed, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the most services completed, it was recognized to Leo Perez when I gave you that award, and I was just like, man, like, being able to go to a flashback and just remembering like when you first started and just seeing your whole process and seeing your consistency, your dedication, right, and your skill develop.
Yeah.
You know, all three.
Yeah, all three.
You know, all three has developed within time, and then now, you know, you're doing what you're doing, bro. Like, you know, I want to definitely congratulate you again in front of everybody, and this is why I wanted to highlight this, right? Because I think it's a great story. I think it's important for us to highlight, you know, what really goes on within the shop. You know, I think, you know, our barbers don't get enough credit. We have amazing barbers here at TDK,
100%.
bro. You know, I know that you got inspired by so many of our barbers that, you know, when you first started.
Yeah, and the techniques I have now, it's literally from every barber that was here.
Literally, you know, on the side of you, you know, we have barbers that have been here for 10 years. We have barbers that have been here since 7 years. Mm-hmm. We have barbers, I think, I don't want to say you're the youngest, not the youngest, but the one with the least years, maybe just one barber less years than you. Was Elvin here before you?
No.
He was after you.
Elvin was after me, and so was Fernando.
Fernando, there you go. So Fernando, and he's also doing really good.
Yeah.
Right, but regardless, I wanted to highlight our barbers, and I wanted to highlight your accomplishments, you know. Just letting know everybody that, you know, it could be done. Right now, you're at 700, you're averaging 700 a quarter. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of haircuts. Yeah. You know, how much do you average a week?
I try my minimum of services that I try to do a week is 60.
60 services a week.
That's a minimum.
So I want y'all to understand 60 services a week and our base price is $30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then your upsells.
That's with consideration of some of my clients, my like loyal clients.
Yeah.
I'll give them discounts here and there.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Yeah.
And they know that. So it's 30, but sometimes I'll take $5 off, or I'll give a free beard, free eyebrows. But it depends on my clients. Like my loyal clients that I know that come every 2 weeks, every 3, or every week. Now the clients that come every week, those are the ones I give discount, because I mean I can give them boom $60 or $50 every week, but I don't, because at the end of the day, like we've talked about before, it's the long dollar, not the short.
Bro, and I'm glad you're bringing that up, right? Let's talk about that, right? I think it's important to highlight that, because we talk about this. We have barber meetings every month.
Right.
We have weekly sit-downs with y'all to where we go over your numbers, we keep up with your goals, right? But the barber meetings are important. We talk about that. We talk about how it's not the short-term money that's gonna give you success. It's the long-term money that's gonna give you success, because those people are gonna come back.
Right.
And we talk about how important it is to even cut kids that are walk-ins, that are just kids. Right. You know, that even though sometimes it can be a little bit more stressful, a little bit more of a difficult haircut for the same amount of money, those are the ones that are the long dollar. Mm-hmm. The military discounts that we do, you know, we give $5 off for our military clients that come in, but it's in honor of their service, and they appreciate that, and they come back, which is the long dollar.
The long dollar.
Right? And it's those repeating customers, which is what we're talking about, that, you can get, like you said, minimum of $30 to $60 off of those repeating customers. But again, the long dollar, right? It's being able to give back so that they can come back and say, okay, you know what? My barber hooks me up, not just on a great haircut, a great service, but also he hooks me up on a price.
Yeah, and there's some clients that I'll like, if I know they're like my regulars, like for sure every 2 weeks, every week, if they do a haircut and beard, I'll even give them $35
for the haircut and beard.
For the haircut and beard.
That's love.
Yeah,
that's love.
I'll give it to them. I mean,
and that's why
they feel that because they feel, I guess like the connection of, well, it's more of a relationship.
Yes.
Like, and a lot of people say you don't want to have a relationship with your clients, but at the same time you want to, because you want to, when they sit down, you want them to feel comfortable. And I do have some clients who are like, hey, I'll show them, and they're like, I don't need to see you, I'm blind or whatever. I'm like, well, I'm kind of like muscle memory at this point. I'm like, just pretend you look or whatever. I'm like, okay, but that's my thing. You want them to feel comfortable on the chair.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to make a relationship rather than just have them as another person that's giving you money.
This is coming from someone that does 700 services a quarter. All right, so this is very good advice for anybody that's starting into barbering. Listen to that, right? Because you got to really look at how much the bigger picture, right? That person's gonna come back and come back and come back, and that's why your books are filled. Right. Your books are always filled, right? And not to put it out there, but I want to put it out there because we've been scaling this, and I know that you have a $10,000 goal to keep up with. You know, you are always striving for $10,000 a month, and for somebody that's with that mindset and the advice that is coming out of you, I want everybody to be able to listen to that and be able to say, that's the right mindset that I want to adapt into me, to be able to accomplish $10,000 a month. Right? Because that's your goal, $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year. So right now you're looking at someone that accomplishes $120,000 a year. Give or take, right? Obviously, we're always gonna be here to support you, bro. We're always gonna be here to continue to remember the goal, right? I know you slack sometimes.
Every now and then, but I try to keep it up.
Very minimal. I'm just playing with you, bro. I know that you're always very dedicated, but you know, every time I see you walk in at 11:30 versus 10 o'clock, I'm gonna say, man, showing up late, right? Or every time you leave at 7 o'clock instead of 9, I'll be like, man, showing up late, leaving early, right? I'm gonna mess with you, right? But I do it in good intention because I know that you have a big goal. It's 10,000, you know, and I'm gonna put it in camera here to remind you. So by the end of the year, you better be at least $100,000.
That's really my goal.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like there should be no reason why you should not be at $100,000 by the end of December 31st. So whenever it's time to give the whole year plaque,
it better
be.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
All right. So then that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to highlight that. Do you have anything to talk about? You know, for someone that's starting off. You know, any advice that you would give anybody that is starting off in their barber career? Maybe that's in barber school, or somebody that's already an experienced, seasoned barber that, you know, I guess feels stuck.
Right.
You know, what words of encouragement or advice would you give them?
I think my main thing is a lot of people try to compete to be better than like other barbers. But to me, I feel like you're more competing against yourself than others.
That's key,
because
bro.
he or she can give a better haircut than you.
Yeah.
But if you give a better service, that client's gonna come with you.
Ooh.
That's my
philosophy.
Way. Yeah.
Your barber philosophy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
And have I seen it? Have I done it? Yes, it's happened. It's happened.
Hey.
I've like some clients, they'll go somewhere else, but then they come with me. I give a better service. The other guy might give a better haircut, but if I can kind of match that haircut with a great service, they're gonna stay here. And I've had multiple clients. They'll come from other barbershops, other barbers, and they'll come here and they'll stay here.
Look, I'm not saying it. You're saying it.
Yeah.
And it's coming from someone that makes $100,000 in haircut services. All right, so take that in however you want to take it in. You know, take that for yourself. I really hope that you can learn from this, and I hope that this video helps somebody in some way, some shape or form. If you want to continue to see videos like this, if you want us to continue to highlight our own barbers or maybe some special guests that you want to see talk about the barber industry, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe to our channel. We have more content coming in. It's 2025 and we want to be able to, you know, get very, very creative and engaged with y'all, you know, in the YouTube world, right? So Leo, appreciate you, my man.
Of course.
I wish you much success. I hope that at the end of the year we get to recap, all right, and then be able to say, okay, and show you through numbers. Because again, we're scaling every week, we're scaling every month, and we're scaling every quarter. And we sit down with you guys every week and at the end of the month and at the end of the quarter, we do a whole big event, not event, but like a whole meeting, and we give plaques and stuff like that so that we can be able to keep up with our goals. And at the end of the year, we always have that posada. You know, the posada is a big party that we have in celebration of all the hard work and dedication that we do all year long. And hopefully by the posada, I get to see you with that big ass plaque, the trophy and everything.
Well,
and we'll have some drinks then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until then. But we got to work hard to be able to play hard and celebrate. But we're not gonna celebrate if we haven't done shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta hit the goal and then be able to, you know, celebrate after that. So I look forward to seeing that, man. I look forward for your future, whatever that is, whether it be here, somewhere else, in your future goals. You know, hopefully it's here with us, continue through your whole career until you want to do what you wanted to do.
Right.
I know that we talked about that earlier. But I think we'll leave that for the recap.
Yeah, for the recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave it out.
All right, Leo. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.